And Aurora here has some pretty good possibilities of playing side as well. And when you have that Pantheon that they really index highly onto, it does give you more possibilities than just wombo comboing.
To make sure that he can keep this lane prio. And you mentioned that both champions want to roam, but Knight might be looking for a little bit more. Electrocute! A blinking L4! Now Knight slow! They're both still standing. There's a fight in the river in the meantime, but I do not care. Keeping my eyes on the mid lane 1v1, but the river might be important now, because it's Ben who finds first blood.
Play around the global. Because again, he still has no flash. Mid lane though, it's
global. Skewmon extra movement speed coming in from the Aegis is all Knight locked up, locked down. Timber's on the way in, but not doing a hell of a lot. Knight taken out by the Weirding, and that's what we talked about with the Pantheon, that long-range semi-global threat.
Now, so will be the lane swaps as well. As you see the allocations, they're sending Knight up to the top side of the map right now, and Broken Blade matching. And of course, since both solo laners are AP solo laners on the side of BLG, Broken Blade investing so heavily into that magic resistance here on the Ornn to be able to deal with either one. Just sustain, sustain.
And I will say that Annie lacks in sustained damage, so that Kanik Rooker, that's what he chooses to go for here. I imagine it will be. Is going to be pretty solid as we see the engage on the bottom side. Lebrov stepping a bit too far, but he does manage to find the lockup. Quick cleanse and a sidestep from Elk means he's A-OK on body blocking the Mystic shots. There's no follow-up. Lebrov caught out and knocked down. Good games. We've even seen good games from Caps, but we need to see that peak performance from him in this game today, especially when he's the one who got those early kills. Wow. And especially as Broken Blade might be in trouble. Flash forced out. Bin on the way in. He's blown the horn. Bin's respecting it. But Broken Blade is in dire straits. Ooh, tower aggro continues though. He might be able to get one back. It's the 1-for-1.
Even with the max HP nerf to Rumble, he just roasts on through this Kanik Rooker and Ornn. Absolutely melted.
Fight continuing on the bottom side though. Quick bit of lockup, but no follow-up. Beishwan, good use of the ultimate to stay standing on immediately using the Unbreakable Well. Now the retreat going in, but it's capped off to the side of the Weirding, but they've just been locked up. It's a beautiful combo. Knight and Elk dealing a death blow.
Oh, Dracos, that is the juicy combo that you're looking for.
In the headbutt pull, Knight gets another. And it might just be a seal now, but the pages in the book might be coming soon. Another 300 gold, another half of an item. It would have been 3, no doubt. These are the combos that have to be respected. As you see, we can't stop. There are plays happening. There's not enough time to react to the previous play. Broken Blade, oh, the footwork is good at the very least.
Once they want to try and fight over this Rift Herald, of course the Rift Herald does have so much value. Being able to knock down these outer turrets and progress the game very quickly. BLG not really worried about the dragon stacking. Just want to continue to snowball, get that money, get the cash.
Keep things going in pretty comfortable control of the game. G2 doing a solid job of trying to cross map as best they can. It looks like it will be 1 tower for 1 unless the Herald comes down. And of course the Herald for the Drake. Soul coming through will be Ocean, which honestly isn't bad for either team.
Yeah, not too bad for either. I also envision a lot of team fights where people just get bursted down and don't have a lot of time to heal.
Yeah, Caps now moves to catch the wave, and G2 might try to catch Elk as they see an angle, but Elk's movement clean thus far. Lockup from Lebrov is there. Pantheon now coming in as well. Elk is already cleansed, but he's still been stunned. Pantheon is going to force the flash. Ornn Horn called, and this is the combo. Broken Blade sniping with the ult, but it's Knight looking for the follow-up. Waiting out the Aegis assault for Skewmon, but he knows he doesn't have an angle anymore. On, though, may be the one in trouble. Instant use of the Unbreakable Will, and a quick retreat from the side of BLG as G2 are keeping the pressure up.
Oh man, Elk, that was very cocky. He really wanted to use that move speed, but under tower actually, Broken Blade starts to take a couple tower shots, does flash.
Equalizer, decent amount of ticks here. Broken Blade might be in trouble. Where is he going? Herald on the way in, so he didn't want to walk into River. Broken Blade slowly being burnt down. Beishwan going in mid lane into 3 members of G2! And he is unconcerned! The Herald will not finish the tower!
We watched the Ornn get chased down. Well, we got a little drive-by side story here, Daniel. Beishwan goes into the turret. It's super low. It actually didn't quite fall. But we have Caps still focusing on the side lane turrets. Gets immediately back out to the side. He actually does finish it off. Of course, Elk will be able to return and finish this one. But again, out in mid lane, he gets teleported on 2.
Teleport. This time around, it's Caps coming to the party. Elk is fast, though. And G2 not going to be able to find the angle. Beishwan doesn't have ulti, Tibbers, but does give you the flexibility to be used as an escape. Hansama slowed. Engage on Hansama. Now moving back. Elk slowed briefly. TP coming in from Broken Blade. Likely the horn to be called. Everybody's invited to the party in the mid lane now. Elk locked up. Where's the follow-up coming from G2? They don't quite have the cooldowns. And now G2 trying to finish off this mid lane tower. Knight just now resetting. And it seems like BLG will have to concede it.
There it is. G2, the global coming in big. When BLG just want to continue fighting.
Doesn't have to be too concerned as long as he has that crucial cooldown. Cap's ready to go over the wall. If needed, goes invisible. Not quite clear where he's going. Alti gonna try to escape, but the knockup is good. Weirding back into the wall will take him out. Beishwan incredibly low. Is he willing to risk the 50-50? 0.7, quick Drake picked up by the side of G2. BLG turning back to the mid wave.
Quickly, it looks like Otacon here going down.
BLG know that if they give G2 the chance to reset, that they won't have that crucial cooldown. So they're demanding that G2 come to them. They're demanding for the fight, but they don't have the angle. Oh no! From the bush, he finds the knockup. He only locks a few. G2 now trying to retreat. Labrov on the way out, standing next to the wall, looking to find the lockdown. Hansama trying to lay down a little bit more focused fire, but BLG get the objective. They get the kill, and they walk away.
The commit from BLG is so good.
Respect those semi-globals, but as long as they're grouped as 5, they're just walking into a 5v5 at the end of the day at most. As Labrov once again caught out, good lockup on the Knight. CC there, trying to take the AD out before he can open, but Knight still manages to get it down. Skewmon in the fight as well. Caps, beautiful ulti across the team. Lockup on Elk, but he's still able to full channel the ulti! It shouldn't be allowed, but Caps can't get close enough to finish the job, and now it's Broken Blade falling as well. 3 down on the side of G2 and BLG. They're ready for a Baron.
Yep, that's going to be Baron for sure. Caps pops the blast cone. I don't know what shenanigans he could pull out here.
This one's fast. W flash, wind becomes lightning. They were already pretty much guaranteed to get the objective. They're happy to have Caps as well.
Yeah, they'll take the extra rabbit for free right there. Beishwan with the W flash hunts him down. They're going to get the Baron as well. BLG taking over.
And again, it felt like G2 were starting to find a way back into the game, even when the gold still favored BLG, but the bot side fight, the force on the Otacon into that mid lane play. BLG making it count. Leads as to the CC that On brought to the table.
Instantly there with the knockup. Beautiful stuff.
And he doesn't do any damage. Rumble doesn't do any damage. Those are the people that are the most fed, Kobe. Those are the people we talk about the entire game. BLG didn't even need them.
Oftentimes, hard to get your full channeled ult off,
yeah.
Especially if you're playing against, a Leona or an Ornn.
Or an Ornn. Yes.
These champions are exactly what she doesn't like playing against. But those ultis from Ornn and Leona were used to kill off Knight and lock down him. So that meant those things weren't available to stop it. You know, when Elk did get to start channeling. And as you said, On as well with that CC, able to lock up Cap. So good stuff there from BLG.
Could be a combo. You can't tell if Knight is waiting, and it's not like it was previously. That brief couple-minute window where Knight didn't have a flash. G2 don't have that edge anymore. Every single brush could be a death sentence. Could be the end of game 1 for G2. Playing under so much pressure here as On gets the fight started. Perhaps over eagerly though. He's too low on health already before the fight breaks out. Unbreakable well keeping him standing, but he's been sniped. Locked up, taken down by the bot lane duo, and it's Beishwan who's running. Pantheon going in. Has he overcommitted? Beishwan locked up. Skewmon taking a bit more time. Waits on the Aegis Assault. The minions in the base, though, demand a bit more attention. Knight can't just TP. G2 can't afford to push any further.
Really good punish from G2. On ulted so late there. He went for his combo, and then gets chunked down so low. By the time he ults, it doesn't matter. They snipe him out. They send the ultis there. G2 defend that top line of minions. So they're going to go for the tower once again. Caps is recalling here, and this tower is so low, you don't want to die at this tower. These secondary ones are usually bait for the defending team to die at when they're that low, because your position for fights there is just so much more risky, so definitely advised to give that one up. Ult is critical for team fights. G2 getting that ult out is massive.
Ulti now. They're going to try to force the fight. Lock up onto Beishwan. Ulti connects onto the 80 carry, and instantly they're into the back line. Caps manages to lay down the ult, but Elk is still standing. He shouldn't be alive, but he holds on just a little bit longer. There's no space for him to ulti, though, and that is all that matters. G2 on the edge of death managed to find the fight.
They do it! G2 take him down. I mean, On popping that Alistar ultimate, and G2 just back off. They disengage. During it, there's a lot of minions at their base.
We can't see the health part, but the turret
Ornn's
has
going back. Ornn's going back.
And G2 continuing the push forward, and this is crucial. BLG, one more good fight probably wins them the game, but G2 have held on. They're getting things closer. They're getting things back to even. It's only a 2K gold difference. 20 seconds.
Yeah. Inside the base, all right, On, what can he do now?
Low health bars.
No ulti for him. He can't even get to that wave.
There's a wave unanswered in bot lane. If G2 lose this fight, it's an instant TP and the game is over in favor of BLG. On, locked up. Alistair trying to clear. One tower down, but G2's eyes are set on the prize. The nexus of BLG. And it might just be a single fight. It might be a single moment. Skewmon, Broken Blade, they're trying to finish. The GA! He doesn't have it, there's no way. The flash, it's not enough. Caps is already back.
Teleport the heads, they're teleporting up there.
He has to end double TPs. Caps has to 2v1, and even then it's probably not enough.
Here they come, the BLG solo laners, Knight and Bin versus Caps. All of these players are MSI champions. Knight on JDG, Bin on RNG, Caps on G2.
Sorry boys, this is personal. The rest of you set up for an objective. Caps goes for the ulti. Bin goes golden, buys a bit more time. Bear taking that health so damn low. Tower still standing, but Bin's already gotten one. LeBron back up, 10 seconds on Hans, 15 on Broken Blade. Bin wants to finish the objective. He's not waiting any longer. Locked down there. Minions not going to do enough. Knight and Bin back to finish the game. BLG, get it done.
There, Elkanon definitely can get a lot of chunk damage down. We'll see about this though, because I haven't seen a lot of footage on Nico with the 20 damage nerf on the Q.
Yeah. So, and no surprise to see Skewmon pathing down bottom side. We've all seen Beishuan on red side make that dive happen so many times at early levels. Caps though gets caught by the flick. A good charm to follow. Knight relatively out of mana, but he might not need it. One more auto in the 1v1. Knight stands on top.
Mid lane camp by Ari.
Skewmon and LeBron, because that one's fake. Knight, the Q flash, perfect from Skewmon. He spent his time at practice tool. Knight taken down. Beishuan, a quick knockback into the wall, but it's just too late. Is he gonna give his life as well? Nice fall breaker, good follow-up damage. One more auto, and it's LeBron to grab another.
For both him, Elk there, as well as Bin.
And while G2 have gotten some advantage out of having that Nico, the plays in mid lane, we need to see what it looks like as we get closer to level 6, where you can really start to outvalue that Karma. But it doesn't have that same point-and-click reliability against a champion like Ari. You really need Knight to be there as well, as the flash comes in from Bin. Instant ulti, wall laid down. 2, flip back to the other side of the wall as he takes it down and knocks Skewmon down.
I like that. Bin making the sound look like an assassin here. Flashes in, gets it, they pick it up. Knight grabbing the kill. Caps comes over to mess with the grubs.
Play bottom lane. Hansama ulting. Lebrov likely to fall. Kill finish. Feet of Warfare as Elk grabs that one. That lethality Varus really starting to hurt. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, you saw Beishuan, I think, over-eager starting the grubs after that play had already gone in their favor. Knight and Bin really couldn't support. So G2 will at least get these two back, even without a jungler in the area, as Beishuan's just a bit over-eager.
So once again, jungle support moving up to try and get that mid lane vision.
Ulti there, locked down onto Elk, and this is the problem with the Varus, as good as he looked for the game up until now.
Because those cooldowns are going to be quite meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah, and Caps doesn't have Malignance completed, as we see the lockup is there. Looks like easy pickings onto Skewmon. On in position, a lot of healing though, and Skewmon's able to make it away. Sunder Sky is the difference as the charm connects, and LeBron is ready. A 3-man. Hansama is here. It's only one item on the Sivir, but he might have enough to get it done. Fortunately, he doesn't. It's G2 over-eager. LeBron has to try and sidestep, but Beishuan's just ready to throw rock on his head. And in the meantime, it's Bin breaking towers. Set up on those objectives.
Yeah, and well, let's see here. They're going to be a little bit late coming over. Doesn't look like it'll be meaningful. But I have to point out, once again, you already did earlier with the Bin graphic, tick down to the Scorpion passive.
It was 3 Sundered Sky procs, and we come back and Hansama is dead. Elk and On, despite us leaving the lane phase, are still finding those same advantages.
As well on the Vi, his ultimate is back up and available with addition of Caps, and they're going to go for the dive.
Waiting for the angle, LeBron. He pre-uses the ult, he knows exactly what Knight has to try and do to escape, so in the end it's just a clean dive, a nice side lane pick. Broken Blade leaving top lane. Will move back as the wave starts to come in, but with Triforce, maybe Bin is afraid. One more Demolish proc, and this tower goes down. Yeah. Broken Blade feeling better about the fight. You highlighted it earlier, Jack's a little bit more attack speed, more damage in these sustained exchanges. HP is not a feels good.
Yeah, and he
G2
just takes out these towers. It's definitely been a rough tournament so far for Broken Blade. This Jax being a bit behind here, but does have his training force at least.
Skewmon finding Knight, 1-2, waiting as long as he can for the ulti. Of course, doesn't have the cooldown this time around, but Caps does have an ulti of his, fishing for the charm. Knight, a casual sidestep, the heal, forced to come out, and it's not enough, Caps! Oh. The ultimate truth is, Knight's footwork just better, and Caps and the heal calculation, well, they did not do the math correctly.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, another person dies! The game does not stop.
And it's Hansama.
Hansama taken down, and again, the scaling angle for G2 is getting further and further away. Broken Blade cannot stay in lane against Bin, cannot stop him from taking towers. Hansama cannot sit comfortably in the mid wave.
He's on Broken Blade.
On, the Mantra Q comes out. Uses the tether now, knowing that Broken Blade will have no way out. Immediate response is the flick back. Counter-Strike blocks some of the damage, but not nearly enough. Broken Blade taken down. Skewmon just in time.
Have better setup. Wait until you have a possibility here, because there are multiple 2-item power spikes, both BLG solo laners.
As on flashes. Okay. Beishwan's running now too. Broken Blade, they're gonna stun him. What the heck is this sequence of play? Beishwan is gonna die! BLG, and then they find a kill back! I'm sorry! What?
Are you not entertained?
Thank you.
Knight creates the wall, on flashes over, Beishwan is in there,
and this is
also in there.
We have witnessed the biggest strengths and biggest weaknesses of BLG in a single game. When they are on the same page, they are unstoppable. Right now, they seem to be on the same page. Broken Blade, not happy about this sequence, as the slow is there, as is the decimating smash. So in the end, if we take all that play together, it's a 2-for-1.
Yeah. Plus a tower on the top side. Okay, a little bit something back. This one, of course, a secondary tower worth so much more than the first one, so BLG will get the better of it.
And you can see that Hansama just doesn't, again, needs to finish the Navori Flicker Blades because he wants that auto wave clear. Even then, though, a third item probably necessary before he can do much to this front line.
Yeah. They will continue on that. It's pretty far out in the future, so we'll take Otacon first.
Skewmon on the way in. Or rather, Skewmon clone on the way in.
Caps has no teleport, so it's just a full trade here.
Yep.
The team-wide 800 gold of that top tower for the Otacon G2 trade.
Up alone, that can 1v1 Bin right now. Maybe Broken Blade with, 10 minutes, but lockdown there. Beishwan locked up.
Good pick.
Good damage. Caps wants to keep it going now on to Knight. Sidestep on the Unraveled Earth. The seismic shove won't catch him. But Bin now on the way down. Good news is they have the clone to give them that a little bit of extra free vision. Bin fishing for a bit more, but BLG have just bullied them out. It's still 2 minutes to the objective, however, so G2 don't mind. Knight.
Definitely is going to be painful because the sustain wait.
Secret LeBron, flashback from Elk. The ulti does connect on him in the meantime. Bin now ready to follow. Decimating smash a little bit out of range, but the seismic shove makes everything okay. BLG, Beishwan now here. Knight continuing to chase the follow-up damage as the arrows find their target. G2 once again forced back. 17 seconds till the soul, and they've already lost their support in jungle.
Great counter from BLG. Elk says, "You're not going to catch me sleeping." Flashes away, and BLG will take that as the key to the base of G2. They open up the front door, but now they turn back around for the Dragon Soul.
In their favor. Now the value of that soul with so many poke champions, with so many beefy frontliners. Re-engage there, not caught off guard. If LeBron was able to sidestep that ult, maybe they can walk away. Just happy to get a flash, but not only is he flashing away, he's finding an engage in the meantime, too.
Dracos, it's a clap back for the first game.
They spotted him.
The game is up!
Oh, he's been detected. He's too young to have played Splinter Cell, Kobe. He wasn't ready. The Metal Gear Solid blip appeared above his head, and now he's just got to get the hell out.
We must go deeper. In order to escape, we must go deeper.
The only way out is through, Kobe.
Yeah.
Another TP used. Skewmon running, tries to sidestep, knocked back into the wall. The rest of G2 posturing around Baron. He lives a little bit longer. Decent damage onto Knight, but not enough to make the difference. Knight now on a rampage. The long flank denied.
In the position like that, you're like, your risk tolerance goes way up.
Well, and the important thing to note is
we got to make something.
G2 do have a scaling angle they just don't have the time to do it. So that's why you see the flank. Maybe it's for a Baron steal, maybe it's for the hope of a team fight. But after the early game went the way it did, with G2 solo lanes unable to find farm, Hansam only now getting a half an item completed despite how much time they've spent on the map, you can tell why they would feel pressured to make a play like that. It's not a best of 3. It's not like last year. You're not done here. You have more time to rally. Fearless new champions have to be brought to bear. Yeah. But at the end of the day, even though the core, the Ahri and the Vi have gotten a bit of work done as the ulti comes out. Skewmon getting the fight started, the TP there, but there's no one to follow up. Decimating smash, BrokenBlade able to fashion time. Looking for a 2-man knockup. Flick back on LeBron, trying to turn. He managed to get the back line. Instantly, Skewmon goes in and it's Hansam on the side. The Simmer is contested. They managed to take him down. It's 1-for-1. Elk throws the arrow back. BrokenBlade going back in for another stun, but the team is not there beside him. G2 being zoned away from their own base. Hansama with the spell shield, managing to block a bit of damage. It's On who's going to be taken down, but no, the Mantra W buys him an extra second. Flash out from Hansama. G2 on the retreat, but it's a 3v3. They managed to find a good fight, but it just gets them to even. Skewmon flicked back, waiting to channel out. We'll be okay for now. Still a steady retreat. Knight likely to find the kill here as Skewmon goes back in. The extra shielding not enough, and Kobe, your prediction seems to be correct. Bin will not die, but he will continue to advance, trying not to give G2 any angles to cover or protect their mid-wave.
Taking tower shots for fun down here. Undeniable, unstoppable. Does get charmed up.
A little bit more true damage. TP now coming in. Varus returning to the fray, but Bin recalling. Has a TP of his own. They want to go for the throat. They want to end it here. Ulti goes wide. Charm still connecting. Eyes on Knight. The flick back could be big. Isn't going to hit. Caps 2 charges left. Bin standing in the midst of the towers, threatening to end the base. Counter-strike ready to go. BrokenBlade going to leap back. Caps going to go in. Health bars are getting lower, but G2 need to pull the trigger because it's Hansama who's been caught out. Elk manages to grab the kill. 2 low health towers. BLG on the cusp of match point. But G2 holding on as best they can. Weaver's Wall there. Zoning. Lebrov away. Skewmon going in under the backline trying to find Elk. The knockup is there from Bin though. Base 1 and Bin. The beefy frontliners to find the mid laner, and Elk is still alive. BLG pushing G2 back. Holding the line in G2's base and bringing it to match point. Yeah, they reverted it once people figured out that static was a good item and was pretty optimal.
They tapped it back down a bit, but okay, this is going to be all about this Olaf then. Twist of Fate ganking for the Olaf. Trundle here does have really good 1v1 potential. And
BrokenBlade walking forward. All of BLG moving down. Locked in the cage briefly, not unstoppable yet. Hansama still here, gold card in, but BrokenBlade already down. BLG, they see the angle. The damage. The cleanse from Elk just allows him to walk that little bit extra away as BrokenBlade and LeBron very intelligently are walking into the wave. Poppyalt goes out. It's going to knock back to support. Now it's BrokenBlade ghosting away. Knight on the way down. They know that he cannot go unstoppable. Bin flashing in. BrokenBlade trying desperately to get back to the tower. The Senna shield. It's too little, too late as BLG find their man.
Again, wait a second. Bot side.
Yes. Flashes out. Finishes the job. Makes good on the mistakes from game 2. But it's not enough to finish Beishwan. And I think more than that, just good to have the confidence. You go for an aggressive play like that tower dive last game, completely whiffed. This game, it's clean. You flash over the wall. You make it look good. The team is there to back you up. And again, that's the kind of confidence. Well, okay, Roman.
I don't know if that was in reaction to the top side one where BrokenBlade got chased down. Remember when Gold Card was AoE stun 5 billion years ago?
Remember when the teleport was a basic ability? Yeah. Anyway, right now we're playing League in 2025 and
bottom side rushdown tower. Honestly, it is good. Honestly, it is good here for G2. They can get this one, and even though they're behind on the kills.
But the thing is, they have 3 grubs and multiple people on the bottom side, right? So the disadvantage is you're also conceding a bit more tonight than maybe you would like.
Yeah, cleanses with the spellbooks over too. Wait a second.
Caps caught out. Elk looking to follow up. All the stacks together. Beishwan, nice angle, flash over the wall, but it's gold card. Quick cleanse to come through. And that's the feat of warfare for the side of BLG. Tough for Hansama to step up solo. Broken Blade gonna go all in again the second that axe connects. Bin level 11, but he's not too concerned. Caps on the way down. Gold card over. Beishwan finally coming in. Senna ulti over the top. Bin trying to hold on. Knockback from Beishwan is big, and Broken Blade goes down. The play again turns against them. Bin is still standing. Dominus doing so much as BLG find 2.
OPLoLReplay, even with the Twisted Fate and the Senna ultimate used.
It's not enough to sustain. The charm lands on LeBrob, and down he goes. Level 11 for Knight, just in time for rank 2 in that ulti, and a quick kill onto LeBrob. Skewmon trying to hold the line, but it is all falling apart for G2. The TF was helping them hold on to that gold lead, but now it's BLG, 2K in the lead. Very confident now to start this objective. You highlighted it so well, but Broken Blade with the Ghost on Olaf, he can chase anyone down as long as they don't go over that wall.
Use the wall.
The ulti expires.
Times they get. But okay, G2 pushing in on the tower at least. They do get this tower, but look at the mini-map. That Veigar is getting solo tower gold with the Rift Trail. Got solo secondary tower gold. Is not going to get another charge off, but is going to be richer.
TPing on the way. G2 kind of want to finish this tower. One more auto might do with the Grubs. Caps arriving. Good CC, but Knight is untouched. The cage goes down, locking up multiple members of G2. Broken Blade unstoppable, but can't get in range. So G2 grabbing the tower, getting the TP.
They got the kill.
Finishing the kill onto On as well. The eliminated winner will be our second to qualify, but BLG on that road to locking in the first seed out of play-ins. As now Caps knocked into the sky. BLG immediately descending. The Kaisa so easy to follow up. But with Beishwan out, there should be a Drake for G2, and this gives them a new lease on life. This buys them so much more time to get their items.
Yeah.
BLG still posturing. They love looking for these exit kills around objectives. But as long as G2 don't fumble, there's not a lot to look for here, and Caps able to find the stun on Elk means an easy cleanse. 100%. Yeah, we can't beat around the bush. Beishwan was not expecting to be collapsed on so quickly, so credit to G2. The downside is they earned that tempo, they killed Beishwan, they spent it all getting that dragon, and it does mean that BLG are first on the setup for Broken Blade finding and staying on a priority target. Feels nearly impossible, even if he was at a normal, even gold metric.
Okay, this time it's BLG with the 4-1 split push, having been on top side. Caps is kind of hovering there with Twisted Fate ultimate ready, so this jungle fight.
They weren't ready, they didn't know the ward was there. The instant follow-up coming over the wall from Elk. Skewmon trying to retreat as best he can. Beishwan on a killing spree, and down goes Hansama.
Great angle from On there.
Prof doesn't make it over the wall!
Yeah, he was toast no matter he was toast no matter what. On sees this Senna, and you're like, you have no flash, buddy. You are in the wrong jungle. Takes him down. They're going for Bin though. Try and get a counter kill for G2.
Skewmon blast cone going back. Bin exhausted. The pillar trying to prevent the escape, but Knight is here. The cage goes down. Broken Blade using the ulti, wants to go face first into Knight, but Knight does a hell of a lot of damage. The Olaf! He's not powerful enough to survive.
Too far behind. Little rage push.
Gotta get something. Just a bit of gold as Knight finds Skewmon. BLG uncontested. They will get the Baron. See how much they can make of this Red Bull Baron power play. It feels like the writing is on the wall. G2, it's a long road to win this series. Even to win this game or this next fight. Rapid fire cannon there for Caps. Can maybe fish for those picks, but Beishwan grabs third Drake completely uncontested. BLG pushing mid, pushing bot. Lockdown there. Cage laid out. Bin going for the stun. Ulti's onto Broken Blade. Broken Blade ultiing back. A little bit more shielding as Knight flashes away from the Olaf. Just refuses to give them even an inch. Skewmon will fall as well. BLG, the push back into the wall. Caps ready with the cleanse. Quick on the trigger. Gold card ready to go. Lock up there, but there's no one else from G2 available. 3 out of 5 dead. BLG pushing. Could just look for the end here.
Oh, they're doing that all right. I mean, Bin is already knocking down mid. They're going to tower dive past this inhibitor tower, into the Nexus towers.
On to Beishwan. Oh, the damage from Veigar. Veigar hitting hard. Beishwan, the rest of the team pushing in. Seems like they don't want to risk. They are going to back away, but BLG with a 12,000 gold lead, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, don't worry about the enemy scaling, but we are. Okay, teleports come here. Bin in the bottom river. He's going to go for it.
On the side. Bin looking for the flank. Baby Cage laid down a little bit earlier on, finding a nice engage. G2 trying to hold the line. Caps moving into the back line to try and take out Knight, but it might be too late. Broken Blade living for a little bit longer than expected, but Elk is just too damn strong. Hansama down. Broken Blade down. Knight, godlike, and G2 about to be sent to the lower bracket.
They certainly are. They're going to chase down Caps first as well. Base one's on the way to set up Knight for another one.
Godlike wasn't enough for a player like Knight. He had to go legendary. Bin continues the push. Skewmon does what he can. It's a last desperate hold to clear the way, but it will not be enough. Bin unafraid of towers, certainly unafraid of Trundle. Willing to give up a GA just to go for another kill as BLG, from start to finish, the better team on the day. They have been dominant every stage of play-ins. And as the inhibitor respawns, G2 are praying that that is the miracle.
It's a cruel joke. It goes on longer.
Hansama not enough. BLG move on to the main stage.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.